Picture an arid, thirsty landscape, remote, barren, totally cut off. Now imagine that same landscape suddenly transformed by a supply of crystal clear water, sparkling right under the golden sunlight. It sounds like magic, but it's pure science. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a genuinely fascinating topic: how human ingenuity is leveraging the sun to solve our most absolutely critical resource shortage. We're looking at the evolution of solar water purification, a technology that literally spans from ancient survival techniques all the way up to the cutting edge of modern material science.
So why does all this matter right now? Well, just take a look at this number. Global drinking water demand is projected to increase by a staggering 53% by the year 2030. I mean, we are talking about needing an estimated 6,900 billion cubic meters of clean water. That is enough to fill millions of stadiums. With populations booming and traditional water sources under immense strain, we really have no choice but to look up to the sky for a solution. As researchers at the University of Johannesburg point out right here, the stakes for finding sustainable, clean water solutions couldn't possibly be higher. We can't just rely on the power grid to desalinate or purify water in every single remote corner of the Earth. It's just not feasible. We desperately need off-grid, sustainable, and highly efficient methods to keep humanity hydrated and, most importantly, healthy. To get there, our agenda today traces the entire arc of this incredible tech, starting with the global water crisis, moving into survival stills and SODIS, then engineering better purifiers, advanced photothermal tech, and finally, a brighter, cleaner future. Section 1. The global water crisis. Let's start with a foundational problem and the beautifully elegant scientific principles we use to combat it.
At its core, solar distillation simply replicates nature's rain cycle, just on a microscale. The sun's energy heats up contaminated water until it turns into vapor. And because nasty things like heavy metals, salts, and dangerous bacteria are too heavy to evaporate, they're simply left behind. The pure vapor then hits a cooler surface, condenses, and drips down, giving us perfectly pure, drinkable water. Notice how this closed-loop system works in this diagram. Solar energy hits that angled glass at the top, the gross, salty water down at the bottom heats up, and the pure vapor rises following those upward arrows. Imagine this happening in ultra-slow motion, pure droplets condensing on the cooler surface, slowly traveling down the angle of the glass and falling perfectly into the clean collectors on the sides. It is incredibly simple, yet, profoundly effective. Section 2. Survival skills and SODIS. Before we step into the high-tech laboratories, let's look at how these basic principles are actually saving lives out in the wild. These survival skills prove that just by trapping the greenhouse effect with basic, everyday materials, you can yield enough daily water to literally keep a human alive in the most extreme environments. If you dig a hole in the desert and cover it with plastic, the sun heats the earth, vaporizes the ground moisture, and collects it right on the plastic. The US military even used this exact principle back in 1952, creating a floating, inflatable ball still for pilots who were stranded at sea. You pour seawater in, the sun evaporates it inside the ball, and you extract fresh water. It's an absolute lifesaver. Moving from the remote wilderness to rural households, we find a method called SODIS, which stands for Solar Water Disinfection. This is a brilliant method currently used by over 5 million people worldwide. Instead of evaporating the water, SODIS uses the sun's UV rays and thermal heat to directly kill dangerous pathogens right inside a plastic bottle. This beautifully simple step-by-step procedure is an absolute game-changer for off-grid communities. You take a standard, clear PET plastic bottle, like an empty soda bottle, you fill it 3/4 of the way, and then, now this is the secret ingredient, you shake it vigorously for 20 seconds. This massively boosts the oxygen levels in the water. Then you fill it the rest of the way and leave it out in the sun. That trapped oxygen reacts with the UVA sunlight to create reactive oxygen species, which basically tear apart the DNA of dangerous microorganisms. Now, while it's incredibly effective at stopping diarrheal diseases, the required exposure time varies a lot depending on the specific bacteria. To get a 90% reduction of Vibrio cholerae, which causes cholera, it only takes about 24 minutes of good solar exposure. But for E. coli, you're looking at a whopping 182 minutes. So patience and proper sun exposure are absolutely key here. But remember, SODIS isn't magic, right? It relies on physics. If the water is too muddy, what scientists call high turbidity, the UV light simply cannot penetrate it. The particles physically block the sun. That's why filtering the water through a cloth or letting the dirt settle first is critical. You also need the right bottle. PET plastic is ideal because it lets that crucial UVA light through while standing up to the thermal heat.
Section 3. Engineering better purifiers. Let's fast forward and see how modern engineers are dramatically increasing our water yield. To supply whole communities rather than just single households, we have to bridge the gap between low-yield passive stills and high-yield active systems. A passive system just sits in the sun doing its natural thing. An active system, though, uses solar panels to generate electricity, which then powers pumps, vacuums, and heaters to force the water through the purification cycle much, much faster. For example, researchers are actively exploring designs with parabolic collectors. Notice that curved dish at the bottom of the setup? Instead of just letting the sun hit a flat surface, that curved dish acts exactly like a giant magnifying glass. It concentrates the sunlight onto a central boiling chamber, rocketing the temperature up and actively boiling the untreated water at a tremendously faster rate. When you look at these two designs side by side, it perfectly illustrates the escalation in modern engineering. On the left, we have a great active design, a flat panel with copper heating coils to vaporize the water. But on the right, they took it a massive step further. That complex circular structure actually includes a vacuum pump powered by solar panels. Why a vacuum pump? Well, by lowering the atmospheric pressure inside that chamber, you actually drop the boiling point of the water. So it takes way less solar energy to boil water in a vacuum, making the entire cycle incredibly efficient. Section 4. Advanced photothermal tech. Let's zoom in even further to the molecular level, where advanced materials science is completely revolutionizing solar evaporation. Imagine diving into the water right at the microscopic level. By engineering materials from the ground up, scientists are creating superheated frameworks. Using copper-doped nickel oxide nanoparticles under everyday sunlight, surface temperatures can easily spike to 74 degrees Celsius. Visualizing the molecular motion here is breathtaking. The water molecules gain sudden, massive thermal energy, rapidly vibrating and escaping as pure vapor, while the heavy impurities are trapped behind. This achieves an absolutely mind-blowing solar-to-vapor conversion efficiency of 92%. Almost none of the sun's energy is wasted. These aren't just simple plastic sheets anymore. They're integrated, all-in-one chemical factories. They don't just evaporate water, they have built-in photocatalysts that generate those microbe-killing oxygen species we talked about earlier. They have hydrogels to store thermal energy. Some can even actively break down complex industrial pollutants while they distill. So they're disinfecting and distilling simultaneously. It's brilliant. And when we scale this up, the impact is totally global. Research published in the Journal of Mechanical and Energy Engineering highlights large-scale photovoltaic reverse osmosis, or PVRO systems. Combining solar panels with heavy-duty reverse osmosis systems allows entire municipalities to convert highly salinated water into fresh, clean drinking water, completely off the traditional power grid. Section 5. A brighter, cleaner future. So, where is all this incredible technology heading next? Researchers are already asking the next big question. How can we get even more value out of this sustainable cycle? If we are already capturing the sun's heat and processing water, can we piggyback other climate-saving technologies right onto these devices? The answer is a resounding yes. The future points towards dual benefit systems. Look at these developments. Scientists are experimenting with biodegradable evaporator materials that naturally capture and store atmospheric carbon dioxide while they clean water. They are also pairing the evaporation process with thermoelectric generators. That means the exact same device that purifies your drinking water is simultaneously generating green electricity for your home. And by integrating thermal storage, these devices can absorb extra heat during the day and just keep on purifying water all through the night.
I'll leave you with this final thought summarizing what we've covered today. By integrating photothermal materials, passive solar principles, and cutting-edge engineering, we are turning the most abundant energy source in our solar system into a holistic cure for our most desperate earthly need. Think about it. If we can perfect the way we capture the sun to clean our water, what other global resource crises could be solved next? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep looking up.